This is how you died. Day 1 of a 100-day challenge in Project Zomboid. Closing the blinds for safety, I can tell you a little bit more about the playthrough. I'm playing on a custom map called Blackwood created by Dylan on the Steam Workshop, alongside some other minimal quality of life mods. After looting the garage, I headed into the house to see what I'm dealing with. Closing all the blinds for safety, took a drink of water and checked out what food and other items are available to me. Moving the perishable items from the fridge to the freezer so they last longer. I equipped a wrench as my first weapon, moved upstairs to continue looting, and grabbed any sheets from the windows or the first floor. Since we have some time while I'm looting the second floor, I figured I'd show you my occupation and traits. I decided to go with the occupation of a security guard. For the negative traits, I have high thirst, restless sleeper, underweight, hearty appetite, sleepyhead, smoker, weak stomach, slow reader, Sunday driver. For the positive, I have night owl, cat's eyes, baseball player, inconspicuous, lucky, athletic, and strong. This sets us up with +8 fitness, +1 long blunt, +2 to sprinting, and +9 to strength. He is by no means a weak character. To be honest, I still only have 26 hours played in this game, so I'm still learning. Kawasaki Monster Energy Jacket? Pretty cool. Using the sheets from the second floor, I covered all the windows and doors to prevent zombies from peeking in. A little bit of inventory management. During our scheduled smoke break, don't forget to drop a like and consider following if you want to see more content like this. Back to the video. Marking the safe house on the map. Heading out, we ran into our first zombie in the backyard. Finding a watch and equipping it, we can now know what time of day it is. Hopping the fence to head into town, another friend has come to say hello. Too bad I don't want any friends. Making it to the road, I was greeted by a very nice lady. She wanted a hug, but I said no. Quarantine area? What am I getting myself into? What's that? Why is everyone so nice trying to give hugs? No thank you. Ah, you must be the last guy's girlfriend. Enjoy the dirt. Getting to the blockade, I noticed some zombies, but I wanted to check the building first to see if it was locked. Darn. I then dispatched the zombies from the shipping container. Checking over my shoulder to make sure I'm not being snuck up on. Making quick work of the rest of the zombies in the area. Looting as much as I can carry from the shipping containers. I was pretty lucky to find a bunch of boards and nails. Definitely going to fortify the safe house more when I get back. I started heading back even though there was much more loot. I just didn't have enough strength to carry it all. We'll be back. Managing my inventory and grabbing a drink of water before getting to work on fortifying. With most of the doors and windows barricaded, I grabbed a canned fruit cocktail, a metalworking volume 1 book, and got to reading. It was getting pretty late, so I headed upstairs to get some sleep. Day 1 complete. I wonder what day 2 could bring. Day 2. Having the perk Night Owl meant I woke up early after only 4 hours of sleep. I went outside to grab a trash can. I noticed some garbage building up and want to keep the safe house relatively clean. For breakfast, I had half a can of peaches, grabbed a drink of water, sat down and got to reading the daily news. After, I was getting peckish, so I finished the other half of canned peaches. It was still early in the morning, so I figured I could get some more reading done. Grabbing the last can of food, I knew I would have to go out and find some more. While preparing to go out, I heard a door-to-door salesman knocking. They were selling paint, so I decided to paint the walls red. I headed back over my fence towards the road because I saw some houses over this way yesterday. I came across a small horde and knew I couldn't take them on, so I snuck by. The door was unlocked and I went through and looted whatever I could find, especially the food. Stopping to eat a pickle. He almost got me. I need to be more careful. I was pretty tired, so I took a little nap. Eating some chocolate because I was feeling peckish, and headed to the next house. Both doors were locked, so I had to climb through the window. And once again, got to looting everything I could. Finishing up and moving to the next house. There was a small group of Zomboids surrounding it. I tried hiding behind the fence, but they saw me, so I made quick work of them. This one thought he could sneak up on me. I found this machete, but it was invisible when I equipped it. I wanted to test if I was actually holding it. I guess I was. Climbing into the next house and getting to work on emptying it out. Marking on the map the places I've been, so I don't forget. When I came across a box of .223 rounds and an MSR 700 rifle. And, lucky enough, just the nightstand over had a gun case in it. I grabbed it and immediately began going home. I knew having these weapons would be a massive help for later. Making it to the safe house, I began organizing my inventory and displaying my new toys. Gun case had an M1911 with a magazine and ammo for it. Cue a mini organizing time lapse. Of course, I had to check out the pistol. During our daily scheduled smoke break, don't forget to leave a like and drop a follow. It is very much appreciated. Back to the video. It was getting pretty late, so I sat down with a good book and managed to finish reading through Metalworking Volume 1. Placing it on the shelf and going outside because I heard some friends knocking. What's that I see on the police officer's back? Of course we had to yoink his fit and bag a new shotgun. This zombie Amazon Prime delivered it to my doorstep. My window. This is all your fault. Take that. I grabbed some crackers before heading up to bed. I wonder what day 3 could hold. Day 3. Waking up at 4:30 a.m., I went downstairs for a snack. What better than some chocolate? I then went to the living room and started reading Cooking Volume 1 while watching Life and Living. These tasks will help me out in the long run with much needed stats. I was rudely interrupted during my morning routine. I went and checked the kitchen to make sure everything was alright. I couldn't help but think about other survivors in the city. I thought I was alone. Just a reminder during our daily scheduled smoke break to drop a like and consider following. It's much appreciated. Back to the video. I washed myself and my clothing and headed back downstairs for some proper breakfast. A yummy can of cold tomatoes. I decided to head into the city today toward where the gunshots came from, looking mostly for weapons, a bag so I can carry more things, and possibly other survivors. I cut through the woods, which brought me out to some sort of office building. Taking a look around my surroundings, I spotted a zombie with a satchel. I equipped it and took care of some zomboids in the area. I wanted to get inside the building to see if there was anything I could put to use, but the door was locked. Taking a look through a broken window was a second option, but noticed it was overrun. I needed to find another way in. Taking a look around back, it was unsuccessful. Clearing up some zombies around the secured building. Maybe this is where the gunshots came from earlier? I moved in to take a closer look. Seeing a zombie inside is not a good sign. It was barricaded, so I would need some tools to get in. Definitely coming back here. I went back to the other building and cleared the broken glass. Climbing through the window, it's looting time. Some zombies showed up, so I moved into the kitchen. Realizing I was surrounded, my only move was to fight my way out. Almost getting bit, I ran out to create some space. It was only a matter of time until the zombies broke through the kitchen door. My only option was to head upstairs and continue fighting my way out. Fighting 3 Zs with a short blunt weapon is never good. Luckily, I'm a pushing god. I was able to dispatch the first wave, but more were coming up the stairs. I rolled my sleeves up and continued fighting my way out. Finally, I finished them all off and continued to loot. Not finding much, I was getting tired from the onslaught, so I took a nap on one of the cots. The building was a bust, and it was getting late, so I headed home. It wasn't all bad. I walked away with a satchel and some knowledge of a building that is sure to have some goodies inside. We'd be back. There were zomboids hanging in my front yard, so I got to work clearing them out. Periodically checking over my shoulder. I made quick work of them and headed back to the safe house. Sorting through my inventory and working on my negative moodles. And sat down with a good book whilst watching Life and Living for that sweet, sweet knowledge. Headed upstairs and went to bed for the night wondering what day 4 could hold. Day 4. Waking up at 4:30 a.m., I went downstairs and grabbed a fruit cocktail for breakfast. Throwing the can in the garbage to keep this place somewhat clean. For the next hour and a half, I read Cooking Volume 1 while watching Life and Living for that knowledge, leveling my cooking stat in the process. I heard some noises outside and wanted to check it out, but first, during our daily scheduled smoke break, don't forget to leave a like and drop a follow, it's very much appreciated. Back to the video. Heading outside and removing the Z from my property. Enjoy sleeping with your friends. I want to get started on leveling my tailoring, so I went through and ripped all of their clothing into sheets. I'm going to need a lot of ripped sheets and thread. No better time to start gathering these materials than early on. Now being 8 AM, I had some mushroom soup for my second breakfast and headed out towards the city. I am mainly looking to gather information, clear zomboids, and find some better gear. I came across these 2 zombies hanging around the secure building and dispatched them. Moving north to the back side of the building, I ran into a few more zombies and took care of them. Ripped their clothing for materials, and headed into the back of this building with weird steps up or down. The room was overrun. With my back to a corner, I began fighting. Getting overwhelmed, I was inflicted with a wound. I'm hoping it wasn't a bite. I created some space so I can check my vitals. Thankfully, it was a scratch. I quickly bandaged my left hand and got back to fighting. I pushed forward and continued clearing. Surely, there's some loot to be had here. Phew, that was a close one. Another wound. This isn't looking good. I was pushed and falling onto my back. I lay here, thinking, could this be the end? There was still so much work to be done. I must survive. I can survive. I got back to my feet, pushed them away, and fought for my life. Finishing them off, I checked my wounds, another scratch. I bandaged up and cleared out the few that remained. I was getting exhausted. Luckily, this was the last one. With the area clear, I looted up, most notably finding a hard hat and crowbars. These would prove very useful. This is a grocery store. Plenty of food and what looks like clothing. Clearing the one cashier working here so I can take whatever I'd like. I was running low on space, so I put all of the perishable foods in the freezer to come back for later. I head down the back hallway and continued clearing. Another hallway leading to a locked door. I wonder what's upstairs. I then checked my wounds and did some first aid. I mean, I don't know. These stairs are bugging. I was over encumbered and wounded, so I began heading home when I ran into these two. He was doing all the hard work for me, so I sat and watched. The Z managed to get the boards off, proving very useful to my next looting run. I guess not being wounded enough, I decided to trip on a tree while running through the woods, cutting my other hand. Making it home, I did some inventory management, item sorting, and worked on my moodles for the next hour. Sitting down in my favorite spot, watching Life and Living and finishing Cooking Volume 1. Placing it in a pile of finished books and heading upstairs to clean myself and clothing. Finally heading to my room for some much needed sleep. I wonder what day 5 could hold. Day 5. I headed downstairs and treated my wounds from day 4. I then had some tuna in a can for breakfast. Sticking to my daily morning routine of reading a skill book while watching Life and Living. Electrician Volume 1 for today. Taking a look at my skills, they could be better, but within the next few days I'm going to be looking to grind some first aid, electrical, tailoring, and carpentry. I was feeling pretty tired for some reason, so I took a nap on the couch for 3 hours. I figured it was time to actually get something done today, so I made my way into town. I fought a few Z's outside the boarded up building. And remembered on day 4, a zombie put in the hard work of taking down some planks for me. Making my way inside, it was looting time. I really thought there would be some goodies in here, but it ended up being a little disappointing. Most notably walking away with a lot of cigarettes and alcohol. Oh my, what are those? These ended up just being decoration. How unfortunate. Back to looting, I made my way upstairs and cleared out the bedrooms. And came across this dude in the toilet. And again, I was feeling tired. Is it because of my wounds? I wonder. I woke up 2 hours later and moved out. I expected more, but what can you do? On to the next building. Munter Difflin Paper Company? Interesting. There were a group of zomboids guarding this garage door, so I took care of them. You ain't sneaky, little bro. Back to the garage door to see what was inside. It was locked, so I pried it open with my handy crowbar. This is what we like to see. I couldn't get past the shelving, so I went around front to see if there was another way in. This map is so cool, all the little details that went into it. I wish the vanilla cities looked like this. If you're wondering, it's called Blackwood by Dylan on the Steam Workshop. This building is a mega tools. Surely to have a lot of loot inside, I got to work on clearing the crowd up front. A zombie train formed. All my years on COD Zombies prepped me for this. Nice. All clear, I got to looting some shelves. The doors and windows were barricaded. I'll be back with the sledgehammer. This is kinda sus. Getting late, I decided I should head home. Blocked by the small horde, I cut down the alley between the grocery store and bar. Sprinting here just to work on the skill. I hopped the fence and got inside. Cue the sorting and inventory management time-lapse. Still kinda sus. I ended up bringing home lots of materials and tools such as axes and nails, which will help us later with fortifications. I ended the night off with some reading and life and living. The skills are getting juiced. I headed upstairs to go to sleep. I wonder what day 6 could hold.